Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. So let me remind you quickly of the rules of the class. So I hope you've done your wuzu, you are in a quiet room, you got your pen and notebooks ready, and I hope you're filling out your notebooks on daily basis with your own hands, so you don't, instead of taking photos, your head should be covered, no eating or drinking except some water, and that you have done your homework for the week at the weekend and you are doing your daily recitation. If you're not in a habit of reciting daily, I would say start on weekly basis. I'll say Wednesday evening. So on Thursday, you can give your information to your class teacher, because your class teacher needs to know how much you're reading on weekly basis. Okay, so even there are more of you, hopefully then I'll share this. So let me quickly remind you, so that teachers and students, please display your correct ID. As soon as you join, you rename yourselves so that your ID should begin with C number for students. Irhabeta, keep your emojis to 1, please. Very nice, unicorns and what is it, rainbow, fish, flowers, very nice, but I'll say choose 1 beta. And make sure that your Zoom is working. Okay, teachers, your ID should begin with LT, it should end with R number, that's your room number. Okay, mashallah, there's plenty of us now. So before we start, I would like you to inform you, and I think your teachers might have sent this to your parents via WhatsApp, is that this coming Saturday on 22nd of October, is it this coming Saturday? No, we've got time. You got 2 weeks. So not this Saturday, the Saturday after. Excellent. So you have plenty of time. I need to rename myself. Let's do that now. Okay, so you have 2 weeks, and we've got Jalsa Siratul Nabi coming up on Saturday, 22nd of October at 4 p.m. UK time. And if you would like to take part, you have 7 items altogether. Excuse me. You can take part in tilawat, you can do translation, you can do hadith and translation, and Ruhani Khazan, so there'll be a reading from the writings of Promised Messiah alayhi salam. There'll be a nazam, we've got 2 nazams, beautiful nazams, and Urdu speech and English speech. And what you have to do is you need to record it, okay? So how are you going to send it? This is the email address, students@itqa.org.uk. And before you begin, so when you start recording, you say your what you're doing. For example, you can say tilawat or translation, tilawat translation, and then you can, what does else is it? Yeah, state your student ID. Your course ID is MC18NL2. Your ID, student ID, in the subject box. Okay, so in the subject box of your email, that's what we're going to need. And here it is. Here is the tilawat, the verses for you. Now, this is very famous. Those of you who watch MTA regularly or after Friday, listen to Friday sermon. I'll say during your holidays, because during the term time, you may not get a chance to listen to it live. This verse, this part of the verse is recited, and the recording is frequently played on MTA. And what's so special about it is that not only is it recited beautifully, but the reciter recites this in 1 breath. And I normally try to copy, but I normally stop here. So if you want the nice tune for it, you know, you can find that, I think, on YouTube. It'll be available to you. You can start practicing from today. And then when you're ready to record, you can send that. So the deadline is Friday. So the deadline is Friday the 14th, which is this Friday. Okay, here's the tilawat translation. This is the hadith. This is hadith translation. This is the saying of the Promised Messiah alayhi salam. Here's a beautiful nazam. There's a nazam translation and another beautiful poem. And the translation from Kalam Mahmood. Oh, this one is from Kalam Mahmood. Excellent. And you've got 2 speeches as well, Urdu and English. Okay. So if you want to take part, you can, your teachers have sent this to your parents via text message. So you can ask them, you can start practicing and send the recording by Friday. So MashaAllah, 64 of us are here. We've only got 4 minutes left. So this is what we're doing today. Fill in the blanks. So get your pens and papers ready, notebooks. So we are in week 4, Tuesday. Week 4, I need to move this. I need to change the color. Week 4, and let's do signs of waqf. Okay, waqf means to pause. And there are lots of signs in the Holy Quran. And throughout this semester, we will be covering only 5 main ones, okay, which you will see. Okay, let's ask someone. So raise your hands if you'd like to take part. Students, I can see a few students with their first names. Please rename yourselves. Jazakumullah. Okay, raise your hands, only 12 of you, and let's see.
Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum. Is Nazirah from room 5?
G.
Excellent. How are you, Beta?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Excellent. I'm good as well. Jazakumullah for asking. Beta, would you like to read this hadith for us and the first point?
Okay.
Jazakumullah.
The one who does not recite the Quran melodiously is not from among us.
Excellent. So that means that you read it beautifully with tune, okay, and also accurately. And that's why we are here. Now, some of you already know how to recite the Holy Quran. You've learned that in Nazirah level 1 as well. And you're going to read it accurately by applying the rules of the tajweed. And that's what we do at Nazirah level 2. And this comes with time. The more you recite, and that's why we have QRS. That's why we say to you, recite the Holy Quran on daily or weekly basis, and you'll notice the difference in your recitation. Okay, so those of you who are reciting frequently, I can spot straight away. Okay, Beta, would you like to read this first part for us? First point.
Okay.
Please.
A door represents the stop. A door represents the stop sign of al-waqful mutlaq. This means the absolute stop. It is better to stop here, though not compulsory.
Excellent. Jazakumullah. Well done. I really like the way you pronounce "ta." You didn't say "ta." We'll cover that in later weeks. Well done. Yeah. So you might now. I want you to start spotting this little "ta." Okay. Here it is in the middle of the verse on its own. Now you know that this "ta" is your sign of waqf. And it's known as al-waqful mutlaq. So if I was your examiner and I say, what does this mean? You're going to say this is a sign of waqf, and it's known as al-waqful mutlaq, and this means the absolute stop. Okay, so you can get good 3 points here, right? 1 for naming it, secondly, explaining it, and go ahead and say it is better to stop, though not compulsory. Nice and easy 3 marks for you. Right, so you name it, you explain it, and you know that this is a sign of love. Jazakumullah. Now we've got 1 minute. Jazakumullah Zara from room 5. Right, who shall I ask? I'll send a request.
Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum assalam. How are you, Humail?
Good, how are you?
Alhamdulillah, I'm fine as well. Nice emojis, by the way. Okay, Beta, would you like to read the second point for us today?
Okay. However, a meme represents al-waqful tam, which means the compulsory stop. Therefore, wait a second. Wow. One must stop. Therefore, one must stop here. Ma'am.
Yeah, this is even.
Okay, can I just lower my hand? I can't see it.
Yes, Beta. It's okay. I'll finish it off, Beta. It's 6 o'clock. Jazakumullah for reading out this for us. So quickly, meme represents al-waqful lazim, and here it's written in the margin. And here on its own, it means that it's compulsory to stop here. Okay, Jazakumullah everyone for joining at 10 to 6. And now I'm going to hand you over to our main course leader, Ms.
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuhu. So what we're going to do now is tilawat. I've got Asma name, who will be doing tilawat today.
Assalamu alaikum.
Is that Asma name?
Ji.
Ready to do tilawat? You may, yes?
Sorry, I was just, it wouldn't let me unmute first.
Okay, you're unmuted now, yeah? You're okay now to read, yeah? I'll tell you what we'll do. I'll tell you what you do because it's a student reading. We can have a volunteer to recite after Asma. Let's unmute somebody. And they can repeat after you. Okay, I've sent a message.
Assalamualaikum.
Asma, Mahir, beta, are you ready to repeat after Baji?
Ji.
Excellent. Okay, Asma.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم
A'udzu billahi minasyaitonir rajim.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim.
تبت يدا أبي لهب وتب
Tabat yada abi lahabin wa tab.
ما أغنى عنه ماله فما كسب
Ma aghna anhu maluhu wa ma kasab.
سيصلى نارا ذات لهب
Sayasla naran zata lahab.
وامرأته
Wamra'atuh
حمالة الحطب
hamalatal hatab.
One more time, please.
Hammalatal hatab.
في جيدها حبل من مسد
Fi jidiha hablum mim masad.
Jazakumullah. Thank you both of you. Jazakumullah. Because I heard there the gunna not only of the meme and meme mushaddad, but also of the idgham and naqis. Excellent. Okay, we're gonna go on to the rules that we've been doing this week, and what I want you to do, if everybody could just mute, and then if I need some people to contribute. Okay, so let's have a look here. These are the waqf signs, or the signs of stopping or pausing, right? We did number one a couple of weeks ago. Then last week, that was al-waqf al-tam. This is the complete stop, the stop that the Holy Prophet ﷺ would practice, and we follow the sunnah. He would stop there at the end of the verse, and so you've got this end of verse sign. It's called al-waqf al-tam. Then there is the compulsory stop, al-waqf al-lazim. We must stop there. That was last week we did that. And yesterday we told you about al-waqf al-mutlaq. Mutlaq, that's a ta. This means it is better to stop, okay? Now, I've told you about those three signs. Let's have a look at it now, okay? So remember that these signs of waqf, they're like punctuation marks. Now look here, I've written in red, purple and orange. This is the translation. This is the translation of these verses. This is to show you that these stop signs are there in order that we can read the words in Arabic and the translation makes sense, so that it is meaningful. We don't know what the translation is. So what's happened is they've told us where the kind of like, the equivalent of full stops and commas come, okay? So the pause kind of means a kind of a full stop or a semicolon, okay? Basically it means a pause. I've been talking non-stop. Well, I've been talking non-stop, but I have been pausing like now, comma, okay, commas and full stops. If I would say everything all in one go that I wanted to say in the next 5 or 10 minutes, it wouldn't make any sense. So we have to pause and stop so that you pay attention. So in the same way here, first of all, look at what's on the page. You can ignore all the colors. First of all, see if you can identify the stop signs, okay? So you've got that meme, al-waqful lazim. Do you remember it's here? It's here in the margin. It's so important to stop there according to the meaning. They've sent you a reminder. And there is the name of the stop sign up there. Just as a reminder, al-waqful lazim, the compulsory stop, just as a reminder. And so when you read this verse, it's actually an entire verse, because the verse end, al-waqfut tam, where you see the al-waqfut tam sign, is right down here at the bottom, verse 21 down. Now I've also labeled this Hud, chapter 11, Hud, just to show you how easy it is to find your chapter and your verse number, okay, when you give it to your teacher for your QRS, okay? But we're interested in the sign. This sign indicates that the verse has come to an end, al-waqfut tam, okay? And you can see that here in the full stop in the translation, okay? They can neither hear nor they can see. This is that last bit here. So what I've done is I've underlined the Arabic, which corresponds to the red words, and that's the translation of the underlined bit. And then these purple English words are the equivalent of these Arabic words underlined in purple. And then the orange ones at the end are this final bit. Okay, so you can see in the translation, they put full stops there. Okay, which means and we would pause. When we read that, we would pause. Okay, so the idea is, instead of reading this all in one go up till the end of the verse, it is better for you to stop. It is compulsory for you to stop at the meme, and it is better for you to stop at the tha. And that way you can say these 3 statements separately, okay, rather than all in one go. Okay, so here, أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم أولئك لم يكونوا معجزين في الأرض وما كان لهم من دون الله من أولياء. I stopped there. The only reason I stopped is there's a meme there. If there wasn't that meme, I'd have carried on. So what does that tell us? It tells us that this is a translation. It's a translation of, it's talking about naughty people, okay? Not very good people. And it says, it's talking about these people, such can never frustrate God's plans in the land, nor have they any friends besides Allah. That's a statement. It wants you to stop there and think about it, okay? So I pause there because that meme, waqful lazim, it says it's compulsory, you have to stop there. But it's still the same verse, and I would carry on. But I would stop there. Probably better to stop because there's a tha. Why? Because it's giving me a second statement. It's saying it's talking about these naughty people again. It's saying punishment will be doubled for them. Okay, and when we say that separately as a statement, when we pause, then it has more effect, doesn't it? Punishment will be doubled for them. Okay, kind of full stop or semicolon. And then we finish that verse. Remember, it's all one verse. It's all one verse, and it's only because of that meme and that tha that we're pausing. Then it finishes the last part. It talks about these people. It says, مَا كَانُوا يَسْتَطِيعُونَ السَّمْعَ وَمَا كَانُوا يُبْصِرُونَ. They can neither hear nor can they see. Okay, it's talking about spiritual blindness and spiritual deafness. Okay, so it's talking about people who they do something that is they can't stop Allah's plan. In fact, they're going to get a big punishment because they cannot hear or they don't understand. Okay, Allah's plan actually. So it's 3 statements about these people, and they've separated this one verse into 3 parts with the meme and the tha. Okay, that's why we have these stop signs. Now, the only reason I put this in front of you here is for you to understand why we have these stop signs and why we should follow them, because then the translation will make sense. Okay, we don't know that because we don't understand Arabic. Okay, so let's go back now to, well, we haven't started the rule of the week actually. The rule of the week now, let's have a look. I want to try some annotations. Let's see if it works. I want to explain something to you, and I want to explain to you how we might have a letter. Okay, let's say the letter T. I might ask somebody to unmute actually to help me with this. I might need you to help me to say these words so that people can hear the different sounds. So I'm going to ask someone to unmute.
Assalamu alaikum.
Hi, Islam Iftikhar, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Good. Now you're going to help me read these words and you're going to show us how the letter T can sound different, has 5 different sounds, okay? So what's the first one?
Tree.
Tree, and it's a bit like, and if we were to say this in Arabic, it would be like a tha, right? Not a tha, a ta, okay, a ta, right? Okay, next one, what does that say?
3.
3. Now this 3 in Arabic would probably be the one with the 3 dots, which is like a tha, okay? That's so that's, I'm talking about the T letter here, okay? The T sound, right? Th, because you put an H in front of it, the sound has changed from a t to a th. Next one.
This.
This, that. Okay, now in Arabic, it's very clever Arabic. It's got a separate sound for that. It's a that sound, that. Next one.
Nation.
Nation. Look, it's a sh sound. You wouldn't think that, would you? There's no S or H there. So it makes this sound. Okay, a different sound, totally different from a T, isn't it? How about the last one?
Nature.
Ch. That's a ch sound. Okay, and actually, see that there's a C. Sorry about my handwriting. There isn't any equivalent in Arabic, but there is in Urdu. In Urdu, you've got this. Sorry, it's a bit messy. This ch sound here. This is a different language altogether. Ch. Okay. Jazakumullah. Thank you, Iftikhar, for your help. So that's to show you that in Arabic, you've got different letters to represent different sounds. But in English, you've got the same letter representing different sounds. And that's a bit confusing, actually, okay? But in Arabic, the great thing about Arabic, when we learn Arabic rules, it tells you when the sound is going to change, okay? And that's what we've got to learn. And the N sound, the sound of Noon Sakin of Tanween, this one, the Noon Sakin, yes? And the Tanween, remember the Fatatain and the Kasratain and the Dhammatain, right? The N sound, that's going to change. Just like the T changes, this N sound is going to change. And that's what we're going to do. Let me just clear my annotations, otherwise they will follow me around everywhere. Let's have a look. Excuse me, are you still there? Have I unshared my screen? 1 minute. Okay, we're back. Right. So now we've been talking about how the sound of the N sound changes, haven't we? Now we're going to do this one. This is called Iqlab. Now this is a new rule. It's the same, it's the N sound again, the Noon Sakin or Tanween. So where is that Noon Sakin and that Tanween? So the N sound is here in the Tanween, right? That's your N sound, okay? Muhitun, muhitun. However, it's followed by a ba. Okay, this ba means that the N and the ba, so when an N and a ba, there's your N and there's your ba, N and a ba, sorry about messy, N and ba. When one follows the other, it creates an sound, an M sound. There's your meme, an M sound. That's your M sound, okay? If you say the word unbelievable, if you said the word unbelievable slowly, you'd still hear them separately. Like if I said, it's unbelievable, everybody came back in from the breakout room into the main lesson at the end. Unbelievable, if I was being sarcastic or if I was saying it slowly. But if I said it fast, unbelievable, unbelievable, that turns into an unbelievable, it turns into an M if you say it fast. The same with the word Nabi, you know, Nabi, prophet. The plural, many prophets, is anbiya, anbiya. It comes in the Quran many times, but we say anbiya, anbiya. Now, what you'll notice that I lengthened it as well. So what happens is when the noon sound, the N sound is followed by a ba, it is exchanged for an M sound, but it is lengthened. Okay, so, it's a light gunna. You hold it for 2. Okay, that's why you get that little baby meme up there. So this is where you see it here. Okay, have a look at it. Please have a look. Please have a look. Try to understand what's going on. We've got this N sound here. Okay, there's your N sound there, right? And you've got an N sound here as well. Kiramin, mutahharatin. Okay, you've got one down here as well. Fa'an, there's the N sound with the noon sakin at the bottom there, last line. Can you see? Right, that's the N sound. And it's followed by what letter? Shout it out if you know. it's followed by a ba. There's your first ba. There's your second ba. Okay, and at the bottom, you've got another ba there. Okay, within the same word actually, ba. So the N sound is followed by a ba. It will create an M sound, a mim sakin sound. Okay, and that will be ghunna. There'll be ghunna. This one will only occur if you do wasl, if you continue. So let's go on to, let's do this next one. Kiramin and bararah. If we say them together, will be kiramin bararah. Okay, hold it for 2. This one is fa'anbatna, but we will actually say it with iqlab as fa'anbatna. Okay, a little bit of ghunna there. Okay, have a look at them. Make sure you can recognize it. Look at that baby meme, right? And this is rule number 3. Okay, rule number 3. So we did rule number 1 when the N sound is clear, is har. We did the next rule where it disappears, it's the opposite. When there's a ra or a lam, you don't hear it at all. Then last week we did idgham naqis, we did partial idgham, right? Not complete idgham, where you get a ghunna sound, okay? Now this one, iqlab, you get a ghunna sound, but it's so easy, it's only 1 letter, ba. And the way I remember it is iqlab is followed at the end as a ba there, ba. That's how I remember that when nun sakin or tanween is followed by a ba, it is exchanged for an M sound. There is a light ghunna. So anbihum becomes bihum. Okay, not anbihum, but bihum. Okay, so that is iqlab. It's very easy. 1 letter you have to remember, ba. Okay, iqlab. We will do it again tomorrow as well. And what you will do is we'll also do the fill in the blanks as well. And we can do this. I will send this to you at the end of the week so you understand. Again, it's just, this is all just an explanation of what I've just done. Okay, and tomorrow we'll learn the name of this little baby meme. It's called meme maqluba or meme saghira, but we'll do the name tomorrow. Okay, what we want to do is focus on, well, actually, you might get a sneak preview in your breakout room. No, not today, tomorrow. Tomorrow we'll learn the name. Today you're just going to practice that. We're going to do a bit of practice in the breakout rooms in there and then see if you can recognize it. Okay,